Chaos in the courtroom, a man learning his fate, then going on the attack. He was found guilty of murdering a young high schooler over sneakers.
It was supposed to be a simple sneaker sale. On November 7th, 2021, in Miami Dade, 18-year-old Andrea Camps and her boyfriend drove to a local apartment complex, planning to sell 3 pairs of Yeezy sneakers they'd listed online for about $900.
In 2020, 18-year-old high school senior Andrea Camps lost her life over a pair of Yeezy sneakers.
Andrea was a senior in high school, captain of her dance team, full of life, on the cusp of graduation and college. She had dreams. Yet in a flash, they were stolen. As the couple pulled in, 2 men approached, 20-year-old Adrien Cosby and 18-year-old George Walton.
She and her boyfriend were trying to sell the popular shoes, but the sneaker sale escalated to murder when Camps was shot and killed.
Pretending to be buyers, their intentions were deadly. Cosby pulled out a gun without warning. In a matter of seconds, a robbery turned into murder. He fired. Shots rang. Andrea slumped over. Her boyfriend sprinted away, bullets tearing through the night.
Police say Cosby is the one who pulled the trigger, killing Camps.
First responders found Andrea unresponsive, her life extinguished over a few pairs of sneakers. Public outrage hit instantly. Miami Dade PD called it a cold-blooded ambush, a teenage dream cut cruelly short. Detectives moved fast. Surveillance footage showed the suspects roaming the complex before and after the shooting. Phone records, text messages, and search histories laid bare their plan: lure sneaker resellers to isolated spots.
It was April 2020. Andrea Camps and her boyfriend were trying to sell some Yeezy sneakers.
Rob them and flee. Ballistics matched Cosby's gun to the fatal shot. Miami-Dade Sheriff Freddie Ramirez stated publicly, "They never intended to pay for those sneakers. This was a setup from the start." Andrea's father later told reporters, "We raised our daughter to trust people, to work hard. They stole that from her, in seconds." Law enforcement discovered a chilling pattern. Cosby and Walton had targeted other resellers prior to this, but none escalated until Andrea's death.
The jury had just handed down its verdict, and the family was giving a victim impact statement to the judge, calling the defendant a monster, when suddenly this happened.
When arrests came, suspects faced charges of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and armed robbery. Andrea's parents sat through each hearing, grief-stricken but unwavering. Court records show coordinated planning, from messaging apps to the deadly weapon. By 2024, the trial was underway in a Miami-Dade courtroom filled with emotion.
This week, Cosby was found guilty. And here, Friday, following the outburst, he was sentenced.
Judge Miguel de la O presided over days of testimony. Prosecutors outlined a relentless case: sneaker sale chat logs, security footage tracking movement, cell data confirming their presence, ballistics on Cosby's gun, eyewitness narratives, including Andrea's boyfriend, who testified. He saw her collapse and heard her shout, "Are you okay?" Assistant State Attorney Catherine Fernandez Rundle addressed jurors. This was not an accident or misplaced bullets. It was murder, meticulously orchestrated. Cosby attempted to paint it as a sale gone wrong.
Detectives say George Walton and Adrien Cosby, both 19 at the time, wanted to rob them.
Walton offered little defense. The evidence was too damning. After brief deliberation, the jury delivered one verdict: guilty, first-degree murder, armed robbery, attempted armed robbery.
One first-degree felony murder, I sentenced Mr. Cosby to a mandatory life sentence.
Silence enveloped the room. Justice had been delivered, but the impact was far from over. The jury's verdict wasn't the end. It was just the opening act of courtroom drama. During his emotional victim impact statement, Andrea's father confronted Cosby directly. "This court today confirmed the truth. You are a fool, a liar, and a monster for what you did not only to Andrea, but to our entire family and friends."
Outburst in court. The disturbance happened after that murder suspect was found guilty of killing a Miami-Dade high schooler over a popular pair of those Yeezy sneakers.
At that moment, The atmosphere shattered. Cosby lunged, profanity flying, as 6 deputies sprang into action, wrestling him down. The scene was chaotic. Stunned gasps, sobbing family members, and officers struggling to restrain the violent man. Witnesses later recalled him screaming accusations, even as he was dragged away.
By lunging at the victim's family before court officers intervened, Cosby was taken out of the courtroom and his whole family left. It took a few minutes for order to be restored.
The courtroom fell eerily silent afterward. After a tense 20-minute recess, Judge Miguel de la O returned. The sentencing was decisive. 2 life sentences. A concurrent 25-year term for armed robbery.
Count 1, first-degree felony murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree felony murder.
No possibility of parole. Cosby's accomplice, 19-year-old George Walton, had already received life imprisonment via a plea agreement. The verdict was a final reckoning, for now. Andrea's life ended at just 18. She was the captain of her high school dance team, accepted to nursing school, dreaming of Florida International University.
There's only one place animals like you belong, and that's in prison for the rest of your life.
But a simple sale turned deadly during the COVID era, as she and her boyfriend unknowingly walked into a trap. Her boyfriend, Sergio Bourbon, testified under oath. He shot and killed my girlfriend and tried to kill me as well.
There's no forgiveness on this earth for animals like you.
A father speaking directly to the man convicted of killing his 18-year-old daughter.
Officers at the scene described her fading in and out, even whispering, "Am I going to be okay?" before she closed her eyes forever. In response, Miami Dade and national agencies amplified their Safe Meetup campaign. They urged online sellers. Always meet at police-approved safe zones. Don't trust isolated locations. No item is worth human life. Still, for Andrea's family, that message arrived too late.
Cosby was just found guilty by a jury of murder, attempted murder, and attempted robbery.
Andrea's death joined too many in the growing litany of peer-to-peer tragedies. Her story became a case study in the rise of resale culture during the pandemic, the hidden dangers of informal meetups, the human cost behind a viral headline. For months after the sentencing, Andrea's high school preserved her memory. Her dance team retired her uniform number. A scholarship fund was created in her name for aspiring nursing students, the career she had dreamed of. Still, every birthday, every holiday, every graduation season, the void remains. At every awareness event, Andrea's father closes his speech with the same haunting message: $900. That's what it cost them to steal my daughter's life.
So life sentence of first-degree murder, also life in prison for attempted felony murder, and 25 years behind bars.
But the real price is what we've paid ever since. And for every family who dares meet strangers for quick cash exchanges, Andrea's name now echoes as a somber warning. But even after the courtroom lights dimmed, the shockwaves of Andrea's murder carried on. In the months following the trial, Miami Dade's safe trade zones saw a surge in use, families taking no chances with online sales. Schools launched peer-to-peer transaction safety programs, using Andrea's story as a chilling lesson for teens. National news outlets ran profiles of Andrea, her yearbook smile framed alongside rising data on violence connected to resale culture. The sneaker resale boom, once seen as entrepreneurial opportunity, now carried new warnings. At Andrea's high school, her absence was impossible to forget. The empty chair during graduation, the retired dance uniform sealed in a shadow box, the scholarship fund in her name receiving letters from nursing students inspired by her dream. Her father continued speaking publicly. "I won't let Andrea's name fade. If her story saves even one other family from this nightmare, her light will never go out." What began as a $900 transaction became a permanent loss, one that no sentencing could undo. This is Vaulted Crimes, real stories, real consequences.